Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we are going to be talking about autosave records in SwiftData. So SwiftData simplifies the data persistence by handling the tasks in background for us. One of its features is the convenience of automatically saving a record when it's added, changed in the and saved in the model context. Now, the auto-saving feature is turned on by default, meaning the changes in the model context are automatically saved. But what if we want more control? Now, in some cases, our apps may need options to commit changes manually, giving user basically the chance to undo or redo operations before the data is saved into the data store. Now, let's explore this functionality of auto-saving in SwiftData and how it works and how we can disable it to gain greater control over the persisted data. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to build a pantry example app, in this case, a PantryInventory app, and basically we're going to learn how to use SwiftData and then how to disable the auto-saving and basically take additional advantages like, once of the functionalities once the feature is disabled. Okay, so we're going to start with the PantryItem model. So let's go ahead and create a new file. And basically what I've done here, just to show you guys what I've done here, is I've gone into file new project, and I've created an iOS project, and I did not select any storage. Okay, so we don't need to select a storage. You just provide the product name, team, organization, interface, and language, and then you're done. Leave the storage none because SwiftData is easy to add, but if you enable basically from the template, then Xcode creates a lot of extra files for you that you're gonna end up deleting anyways. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new file now. And we're going to select a Swift file. Now here we're going to create a new file with the name PantryItem. Okay, let's go ahead and save that. So import from foundation is by default. Let's go ahead and import SwiftData and SwiftUI libraries as well. Next thing what we need to do is we need to create a class that will actually represent the model that we want to save. Now, since we have already imported the SwiftData, we're going to use @model macro and basically decorate that right before the class. So when we create the class, it's already ready to go and to be used with SwiftData. Okay. All right, notice that we don't need to create identifiable, observable, or any of those things because model macro is going to take care of all the plumbing details. All we need to do now is we need to provide some properties. So we're going to have 3 properties: name, quantity, and the expiration date. Okay, so once we have created the properties, because this class conforms to the model macro, or it's actually decorated with the model macro, an initializer is required. Basically, you can read the error here. @model requires an initializer to be provided for PantryItem. So let's go ahead and type in it, and notice that Xcode is helping us basically create this model. So we're going to accept that and just make sure that you have name, quantity, and the expiration dates, all the properties set correctly, and they're being set for the property as well. Okay, all right, what we're going to do next is we're going to create an extension to this PantryItem, and this extension is basically going to provide some view level properties, for example, like, computed properties to show the display of the expiration date. So we actually display the expiration date in a nice format. And also, like, we're gonna create a computed property for the expiration color. So when the item is expired, we actually color code it in certain way, and that property is basically gonna help us determine, like, what color to show. Okay, and that is the reason why we are importing SwiftUI, so we can actually tap into, or, like, use the color property or color view, which is defined inside the SwiftUI. Okay, so let's go ahead and create two computed properties inside the extension for PantryItem. First one is going to be called display exp date. This is going to be of a string type, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to check if the expiration date is not empty, basically because it's a nil type variable, is an optional property. Then we want to make sure we actually get the actual expiration date before we move forward and start, like, manipulating the way we want to display the date. So just put a guard statement here and say guard let exp date, and we're gonna get the expiration date. All right, so if we don't get anything, if the expiration date is nil, we're gonna simply return an empty string, okay? Because this computed property expects us to return a string. All right, next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check the expiration date with the current date, and we're gonna mention that if the expiration date is less than or equal to the current date, that means the item has already expired. If the expiration date is greater than the today's date, then the item will expire at certain date. Okay, and that's what we're going to provide in, like, this computed property. Okay, so we're going to simply say if expiration date is less than equal to date. So if the date is even today, we're going to consider that, like, that item is expired. And for this, we're going to use a dates formatted extension, which actually allows us to set the date, what kind of display we want to basically have for the date. So we want to show a numeric date, and we don't want to show the time, so we are actually omitting the time. Okay. On the other case, basically, where else if the expiration date is greater than date. Okay, that means item will expire. It has not expired yet. We're gonna simply return will expire on. And once again, we're gonna just select the numeric representation for the date and omitted representation for the time. Okay, now one last case, if none of this works, we're gonna simply return an empty string. So if our condition for some reason bypasses these two conditions, which hardly going to be a case, we're going to return basically an empty string. This is more like secured than just providing a catch-all else statement, because in that case we are not comparing anything. Okay, all right, with that, our first property, display exp date, is complete, and then we are ready to write the new property, which is basically going to display the color of the expiration item. So when the item is expired, we want to show a kind of like a reddish color or pinkish color, and when the item is about to expire, or like it's good to go, we're going to use mint color, which is kind of like a green shade. Okay. And once again, these are like, basically display properties. We're going to use these computer properties inside the view. That's why we have like, display prefixed at the beginning. Okay, so first thing, once again, we're gonna guard let exp date, or yeah, expiration date, exp date. I want to shorten it, and we're gonna get the expiration date. If we cannot extract the value out of expiration date, that means we're gonna return basically color dot clear. Okay, so we're gonna return a clear color. So basically we don't have any date that's being displayed. So in that case, like, we're just gonna simply display a clear color. Okay, we don't need any background there as well. Now, if the expiration date is less than equal to the current date, that means the item has expired. We want to return pink color. Else, if the expiration date is greater than the current date, then we want to return mint color. Okay, for all the other cases, just return the clear color. All right. Okay, so now our extension is ready to go. We have two display properties, again, to display the dates properly, and a background to basically show when the item is expired or when it is good to use. Okay, so now next thing what we're going to do is we are going to go into our view, and basically we're going to create an add or update PantryItem view, which is going to help us add an item into the pantry list and update an item to the pantry list. And then we're going to basically create our pantry list view, which is going to list all the items. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to basically create those two views in the subsequent videos. Okay, all right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.